Welcome to 2025 Soul Fam. I am so excited to be here right now. And I don't know about you if you've, well, I know if you've been following along here, you most likely are feeling this too. Like, I could not be more excited for 2025 and what's about to unfold for all of us. It is like kind of like the night before Christmas, right? And you just know that like amazing things are happening in the morning. And it's not that it's like happening in the future, it's like it's happening now. But it's like in this perpetual like vibe and energy of just like miracles and joy and abundance and like excitement for what's around the corner and what's to come. I've never been more excited for a new year ever. And it's not like I've never been one to get into, like New Year's resolutions and like amp them up in January and that like it's never really been my thing. This year is different. This year, as you know, is so different. And if you have spent the last few like not only years but even decades of your life like coming into higher levels of truth within yourself, like then you know what I'm referring to. This year is the year that's going to go down in history for you as the year that you fully be you, like you fully turn up volume on you, fully being you. And I'm going to share some have been coming up prior to hitting the live that I know Spirit wants to bring through. But this is the year that, all of the years of healing, all of the years of alchemizing, all of the trials and the tribulations, all of the deep dark nights of the soul, like all of that has prepared you for where you are right now as a a way shower of new earth and moving into this new timeline, your highest ascension timeline. The amount of magic uh, and the divine flow, and the word that's coming up is divine creation, is just going to blow your mind in 2025. So I wanted to share something that was coming through. um, I was getting a pedicure the other day, and there was a show on television, and the show was like, I think it was, for all of you who don't know what that is, it's a reality show about buying real estate. And the woman that was buying real estate, like the realtor was showing her these houses, and she was on a really tight budget, but she was showing her these houses, and she was really going off of her intuition and the vibe of the house. So she's like, no, this doesn't feel right. Like even though it made sense for the area, even though it made sense with like the market, and even though it made sense with the upgrades and stuff like that, she's like, something just doesn't feel right. Something is off. And she was really into the energy and the vibe and the feeling that she got when she came up to the house or the neighborhood and things like that. And so obviously for the realtor, I used to be a realtor, so I can appreciate this. In a previous life, I was a realtor, trying to speak logic to her around what is available for her and her price range and stuff like that. And this woman was just, obviously she's very like in tune to energy and things like that, and she just was going off of the vibe and the feeling. And so eventually they put an offer on a house that she loved, like she loved it. And after she put the offer on it, she got bad news that it fell through due to financing, because this episode came out during the financial crisis in the US and stuff. So banks were like a lot tighter on lending. Anyways, long story short, she didn't get the house because of financing reasons. And she was bummed. And I think it was a few months go by, and then all of a sudden she calls her realtor to come to this house. And basically, she made a deal with a homeowner that was distressed, and um, decided to partner with him in order rehab the house and then get it at a certain price. And instead of going the traditional route of buying the real estate through a realtor and getting normal financing and stuff like that, there was a creative way that she was led to, eh, very unconventional, very not logical. Most realtors would tell her what she was doing was not safe or not a sound decision, but she opted to hire a lawyer to oversee this rehab, and she was putting her her time and energy into rehabbing it and then taking over the property for the seller. So it was a very creative way for her to get into her dream house. And what ended up happening is she ended up being able to customize it exactly to her liking, exactly to the details, right down to the materials that were being used and stuff. She had so much say in the construction of it and in the rehab of it and how things were going to look and all of it. And so she was involved in the creative process of this house, which ended up being a very unconventional path in order for her to get it this way. And so the reason I'm sharing this is because this is kind of like the energy of 2025. It's not going to look how you think it's going to look. It's not going to play out how you think it's going to play out. This is about trusting the vibe, trusting the energy, trusting the frequency, following the energy, following your heart. Not, it doesn't matter what's necessarily logical to what other people say you should or shouldn't be doing, right? Like, she carved her own path, right? She created a way where there was no way, and she did it by following her energy and her vibe and what felt resonant for her. And she said no to things that didn't make sense logically, but it didn't vibe with her. And so I'm sharing this story because it's just it was a mirror reflection, right? It's like you, me, we, the collective moving into 2025. You're going to do it your way. You're going to get to do it your way, the way that feels resonant for you, the way that lights you up. And what does this mean? The word creatrix is really coming through right now. You are the divine creatrix. You get to play in 2025. You get to be in the flow. You get to follow what feels good in your heart and what feels good to, you know, what you feel called to follow, right? As a little spiritual breadcrumb. You don't necessarily have to know how it's going to pan out. She just knew she was going to have her dream house and she wasn't willing to settle. You get to play, you get to have fun, you get to follow the flow, you get to follow the energy, you get to be in the vibe of what it is that really lights you up and resonates with you. And it's going to carve a path for you that is unique to you. There is no path. This was a very unique metaphor that I just shared that is perfect for 2025 and the energy that we are all moving into as a collective. You're not, it's the path is created as you walk it. The path is created as you follow what feels good. The path is created as you tap into what resonates for you. And as you say no to things that do not resonate, you will naturally be guided on your path. And so the other thing that was coming up that I saw sort of directly after that was something with God, what's her name? Martha Stewart. And she was doing like a quick little like commercial thing. And she said, I turned everything that was fun for me, everything that I was interested in, everything that I loved into $1 billion business. And that just really like resonated as well because it's about doing what you love. It's about playing and it's about allowing that to lead you. And so you don't have to be building $1 billion business. So just relate, take it as it resonates. Some of you are building businesses. Some of you are stepping out of corporate America. Some of you are leaving jobs you don't like. Some of you are walking away from situations and circumstances that don't light your soul up, right? And the message here, the underlying message behind this is when you allow yourself to play, when you allow yourself to have fun, when you allow yourself to indulge in what brings you joy and happiness, The universe is going to come and support you in that. This is like divine compensation coming in as you step on your path that is truly authentic to you, that is truly in alignment with what your heart wants to create. This is all about being the divine creatrix. 2025 is the year you get to be you. You get to play, you get to have fun. And if you are finding yourself where you want to turn that side hustle into a business, or you want to leave something that's not lighting you up where you're feeling trapped or something like that, this is the year that you're going to be challenged to your core to choose yourself above all else, which means walking away or moving out of situations or circumstances as much as possible that are not lighting you up and are not authentic to you. You're going to feel the pinch when you are not choosing yourself. You're going to feel restricted. You're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel, it's going to feel heavy because you're being guided to fully follow your heart. Your heart is your guide. And if it doesn't feel in alignment for you, whatever that is, whether it's a career path, a business, a community that you're living in, a relationship that you're living in, whatever the case may be, wherever you're not choosing yourself, it's going to be made very, very clear and very, very uncomfortable for you to continue to make that same decision. So it's about taking full responsibility for the co-creative process as you move into being the divine creatrix and not needing to know how it's going to look. This is about following the mystery and the magic and the calling and your heart, and stepping into the unknown and going play by play as life supports you through this process. And it's going to have challenges, it's going to have growth opportunities, because you're going to be moving out of your old conditioned patterns and comfort zones. And you've already been doing this. If you're resonating with this is a lot of what 2024 has been about, and a lot of preparation for this, moving into a whole new timeline for yourself that is rooted in joy and fun and creative process, right? And freedom to be you, freedom to self-express as you, freedom to be your authentic truth, whatever that looks like for you, freedom to create from flow, whatever wants to come through you. Full expression, full authentic expression. And that's going to look different for everybody of where you're being called or guided. And many of you, if you're here resonating with this, you've asked for this highest timeline. Like, this is something that's been on your soul and on your heart, like, and in your prayers. You have been calling this in. And what happens when you call in a shift like that is you also, everything that's not in alignment with that becomes very aware, and life will reflect back to you where you're compromising your values or settling unnecessarily or not choosing yourself. And so that is only coming up, just so you know, so that you can choose again. Choose again from presence. Choose again from being here now, not stuck in the mind of how things have to look, but anchored in your heart space of what's true for you right now, what resonates with you right now, what is the vibe right now, like, where are you feeling called right now? Just like that metaphor, that story I shared with you at the very beginning. And right now, in the moment, you will always know. In the moment, which is now, which is always now, you will always know. The part that trips you up is when you go to the head trying to figure it out, and then you get stuck in the monkey mind and the worrying and the anxiety and the future projections and the memories and the past conditioning and all the things. But right here, right now, you'll always know. Right here, right now, anchored in your heart space, you'll always know. Your soul is whispering to you right here, right now, and it's subtle. It's not loud. Sometimes it does feel like the universe is kind of hitting you over the head very loudly, actually, to be honest, but the whispers of your soul are very soft. It's the ego that's like loud. It's really subtle. It's very soft. It's very intuitive. It's very inner knowing, not understanding. Inner knowing is subtle and it's here now. And when you're anchored in your presence, you're able to flow with this and make decisions and healthy discernment from this place of now, from this place of being in the flow with life. And one of the things that trips up so many of us is trying to figure it out. And here's the thing that's also been coming through is that you are a song that is yet to be sung. This came through. I wrote it down on my notepad. I might have to read this to you. Let me get, let me read it. You are a song that has yet to be sung, like a word on the lips of the universe that have yet to be spoken. You are the melody that has yet to be heard. God wants to sing through you as you. You are here to be sung. You are here to be danced. This reminds me of that quote from Eckhart Tolle where I hope I don't butcher this. Life is the dance, or life is the dancer, and you are the dance. You are here to be danced. You are here to be sung. You are not figure outable. Whatever perception or you have in your mind about how things are supposed to play out, or even what it looks like for you, or who you even are, like there's going to be so much uncovered in 2024, and I think unleashed is a better word. There's going to be so much magic and so much like wisdom and so many gifts unleashed in 2024 that you're going to blow your own mind, because this is not something that you've ever even experienced before. You are charting a whole new path. You are the melody. You are the dance. Life wants to flow through you and sing you and dance you. You are the vehicle and vessel for this. You are the vehicle and vessel for life, for God, for the divine, to dance through you, to sing through you, to create through you, right? So I can't get past the theme of being the divine creatrix. The matrix is no longer something that you're going to be trapped in. The matrix is something that is you play with. Like, you are not sucked into the matrix. You are you are here now, and you can see and witness, like, you are in the world, but you are not of it. You're playing a whole new game. The rules have changed. This is not your There's no more old world conditioning, old world matrix conditioning that can move forward you into the phase. So creating from fear, creating from worry, creating from lack, creating from scarcity, creating from feeling unworthy in any way is out. That is the past. And any place that you are still settling, compromising, or putting yourself last, or not following the call, or whatever, due to fear, lack, scarcity, not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, all of these things, that's going to be illuminated for you, because it can't go with you in 2025. 2025 is the year you get to live and be you, the divine creatrix. God, divine love, all that is, life itself is animating this vehicle, this vessel, this temple, and you get to live it. You get to experience it. You get to be it, best word, be it in the moment, right here, right now, following your heart, which is like the compass, which is like the whispers of your soul, and following that unwaveringly with trust and faith and surrender in the divine orchestration that is here for you when you're ready to play and have fun with this process, this creative process. This is when you're living from divine flow and creating in the moment. And yeah, you will bump into fear. You will bump into old conditioning. You will bump into imposter syndrome. You will bump into perfectionism. You will bump into some of these things as they're kind of like threading out of your reality and threading out of this experience, because and this is like you just fully shifting into the new timeline. Like, it's time. Like, 2025 is the year that's going to go down in history for you as the year that you fully claimed your mother effing divine power and the God source within you that is creating through you that you are one with, and that you are in a co-creative process as the divine creatrix of your life, whatever that means for you. And it will involve, to some level, being in service to others. I know a lot, obviously, starseeds, light workers, teachers, healers, you have a big mission to be of service in some way, to help raise consciousness, to help uplift humanity in some way. But this is about, prior to this, you've likely been in seasons, years, or decades where you've been doing this at your own sacrifice, at your compromising your own needs or your own values. This has come up a lot in program Sacred Leader Academy, that is for light workers, teachers, healers, starseeds that are here to uplift humanity and share message and gift with the world and really own it, and then create a sustainable business around it. So much of that program is helping emerging spiritual entrepreneurs overcome imposter syndrome and fully own their gift and own their voice and own the magic that is within them. And it's kind of like an initiation phase. It's an initiation. It's like a rite of passage into fully stepping into your power and fully like being in alignment with your dharma and your mission. And that is to no longer put yourself last, to fully own your gift and your power and your voice and your message and what you're here to share and who you're here to activate and the power that you have within, and be able to share that in a way that helps activate and illuminate the path for others. And you have to get out of your own way in order to do that. You have to be able to surrender to the divine calling within, and know that this is what you contracted for. There's a reason why you're here right now. If you're still with me, if you are with me, whether you're live or on the replay, go ahead and let me know. But if you're still with me, there's a reason for it, and you already know this. And part of this is fully owning your power. And when I say your power, I don't mean your egoic power, like I'm all powerful, I'm all this. Like, this isn't about your egoic personality, sense of self. You are a divine expression of the one, but this is about your true divine power, your true divine confidence. Like, this isn't puffed up power, puffed up confidence, like puffed up from the ego, right? Because that wavers. A false sense of power, false sense of confidence, anything rooted on falsehood wavers, and it's conditional, meaning, which is another thing we dealt with all the time in Sacred Leader Academy, is you can't be attached to the likes and to the all the things that you're going to hear from people as you shine your light and as you break the mold in whatever way that you're being called to break the mold, and where you're being called to share or speak or shine or show or no longer dim your light. And so the reason I'm mentioning this is because when you're rooted in falsehood, sense of power, or confidence, for example, it's always conditional, and you will fall victim to needing outside external validation in order for you to feel powerful, or in order for you to feel confidence, right? And so that's false confidence, that's false power, that's egoic power, that's a puffing up of the ego of I'm powerful or I'm confident or this or that. Like, true divine confidence, true divine power is you resting in the divine essence of that which you are, not some puffed up version of yourself. This isn't about creating another mask for yourself and then needing the external validation to keep that mask in place, to keep it propped up. This is about you fully loving and trusting yourself so much and feeling so connected to the divine essence and source within you that you are bulletproof, you are unwavering, you are divinely confident, anchored in true divine power, in your true divine essence. Right? There's a difference, because that cannot be shook. That cannot be rattled. You rest in a sense of peace and acceptance and love and connection with all, that nothing outside of you can shake you anymore. You are not triggered. You are unbothered. I'm not saying you're not going to be triggered as part of your growth process, but you're not triggered by, let's say, naysayers or people that are going to show up as you shine your light or as you create what you're called to create in the world. So maybe it's art, maybe it's music, maybe you're in theater, maybe you're in, maybe you're leading a company or an organization, maybe you're speaking on YouTube like this or whatever. You're going to face those triggers to the degree that you are still bothered by them on an inner level, to where it's going to shine a light on the places within you where you are still in division within yourself. And this process is about coming into a union, inner divine union with you, like you and source, you and God, you and the divine, you and life are one. And when you create from this place, and when you're fully anchored in this knowing, and when you fully intuitively rest and abide in this essence, then you are unbothered. Then you are bulletproof. Then you can shine your light and speak your truth and share your message or your art or your gift with the world and not care what anybody thinks. And a lot of people, a lot of souls, I say people, but let's just call them souls, you've contracted to be a way shower, and you've also contracted to lead. If you're resonating with my messages, I know part of my mission as a starseed is to activate other starseeds on this journey that are here to lead, and they're here to shine a light on the falsehoods and on the illusions and lead by example. And so it's kind of like the what was coming up, which I'm going to do another video on, is like it's you're going from like lone wolf black sheep to visionary leader, and everything that you've been through that has made you more of an outcast or made you feel unaccepted or made you feel different, like all of the things that you've always known in your soul to be true that have not been accepted, or have been shamed or have bogged you down in some way. Those are all, that's your magic, that's your truth, and that is what you will be. It has all prepared you for your new earth role as leader, as a sacred leader, to help. I'm getting full body chills right now, uplift humanity during this time of great awakening, time of ascension. So you've contracted to be here, and you've contracted for all of these experiences, and you've contracted to grow through them and alchemize all of it, and you've contracted to be here, right now, in this moment. This is a timeless recording, but the energy is coming through right now. It's also timely for 2025. You are breaking free. Like all of this has been used. All of this has been part of your journey and part of what was meant to happen on your journey, and literally moving into visionary leader, sacred leader, divine creatrix, way shower of a new way, of a new earth that's rooted in love and prosperity and acceptance and forgiveness and compassion and empathy. And everything that you've gone through has cultivated this within you, a deep level of compassion, a deep level of empathy, to be able to shine a light and hold a light for others, to be able to shine a light on the darkness, because you've been there, you've done that, you've been through it, you've gained wisdom. I want to say not gained wisdom, but you've remembered through this process the wisdom that's always been dormant within you, because you've incarnated here with this knowing within you, but you've agreed to go through this human journey so that you can shine a light and be a way shower for others. And I want to circle back to this. The difference between now and what you've been doing probably for the last years or decades of your life is that you're no longer doing it at your own expense. You are no longer self-sacrificing or self-compromising. And in fact, now you see that by you fully shining your light and being abundant and allowing yourself to receive and moving away from things that don't resonate or that compromise your values or your energy or your time or whatever, like when you fully show up as abundant, when you fully show up fully anchored in your divinity, embodied in the truth of who you are, knowing that you are a divinely worthy being, you are able to activate others on this journey, and you are able to shine from the light of your own example. You are a walking, talking lighthouse. This is what I also share inside Sacred Leader Academy, which I don't know why there's so many plugs for Sacred Leader Academy today. I just feel that the collective is moving fully into stepping into their purpose. I have kind of like that program has been over here for a little bit. The focus has been more embodiment, but leadership is coming back in. And so the lighthouse effect is where you are able to shine a light in the darkness for others that are in the vibrational frequency of you, that are in the vibrational frequency of what wants to be channeled through you. So they're in arm's length, so to speak, of what you are called to share or speak through you, which is activating. And they find you. They are calling you in, right? So if you are feeling the call to move into your role as a light leader, as a way shower of this new earth, just know the calling that you are feeling within is in direct response to the souls that are ready for you to show up and shine in your light. There is no separation. We are all one and we are connected. And connection is not even a good word because there is no separation that implies that two things can come together and be connected. You are one with the people that are meant to admire your art or hear your music or watch your movie or read your book or enroll in your coaching program or sign up for your healing sessions or whatever it is that you're called to do. The reason you are being called to it, and it's being called through you. It's not all glory goes to the divine, right? All of this goes to the divine. It is being called through you, and it is an honor and a blessing to be a vehicle and a vessel during this time of great awakening, to allow this to flow through you and to be in co-creation of it, with it. But there's the souls that are ready for you are calling you in. And so it's like leveling up to your power and to what you're here to share and what wants to come through you, what divinely wants to be expressed through you, which is going to look different for everyone. So if you've been thinking about, if it's been on your heart to do a TEDx or to speak in public or to host a community event, or, there's so many ways, big and small, that you can impact. And first and foremost, it's you coming into alignment with you. And when you come into alignment with you, the true you will know what is in resonance with you, and you will know what is not in resonance with you. And this is the divine creatrix that you're moving into, being the divine creatrix that you're moving into in 2025. Full discernment, healthy discernment around what is actually serving your purpose, your mission, your higher calling, what is in alignment with your values and your truth, and what is authentic to you and what you are being called to create on your heart, and moving forward with that without knowing how. Just like the story I shared at the beginning, and just like Martha Stewart's little metaphor, I just turned what I was really passionate about, what I really loved, what brought me joy, what I really loved doing, into $1 billion business. And so that's kind of the energy here. And again, you don't have to want to build $1 billion business. This is a metaphor. You get to play and have fun, and you get to create from this place. And you're not going to be able to do that in the mind. The mind is not going to be able to take you there. Things will come in to help. You will be guided to take steps. You will be guided to take actions. I'm guided to show up on YouTube right now. I'm guided to create programs. Like, you will be guided, but the creation is going to come from a deeper calling. It's not going to come from the mental body trying to figure it out. It's going to come from a deeper calling. This is what I always share as well, is like, you will be anchored to your heartstrings. When you're creating something so anchored into your heartstrings that you won't not be able to do it. It's just a calling from within. So is that making sense? This is the energy that's been coming through. And the piece I just have to touch on again is that life is here to live you, to sing you, to dance you, to work through you, right? fully aligning with this and surrendering to this and allowing yourself to be the instrument, allowing yourself to be the vessel, allowing yourself to receive the guidance and the wisdom and the knowingness, because you're anchored in your heart space, because you are out of the mind trying to figure it out, and you're anchored in your truth. And it may be very like, what's going to feel good today, what is going to really light me up today? And it may just be going for a walk. It may be throwing a video up. It may be painting. It may be whatever. You're not going to necessarily just do what feels fun and what feels like play and what brings you joy. And the more you stay in that energy, the more you continue to say yes to you and yes to what's calling you, the more hits you will get. The more hits you will get on whatever actions need to be taken. And the actions will be divinely aligned actions that will do two things: align you to your highest timeline and possibly induce some kind of fear or resistance, because it's going to be breaking you out of your old pattern, and it's going to induce any fear-based residual energies that are still lingering in your field around being seen, around being heard, around being truly you, around being rejected, around whatever. So whatever stories or whatever programming or whatever lingering BS belief systems you still have that you're carrying within you will be illuminated, and that's how you know it's a sacred action. So it will be exciting and exhilarating, and it'll simultaneously have a little twinge or a big twinge of fear, because it's going to be getting you out of your comfort zone. And you're just going to have to get used to playing in that space of the unknown and trusting and knowing and taking inspired divine guidance. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is stay anchored in you, here and now, and take whatever divine guidance shows up. That's it. Recognize if there's any resistance or fear. See it for what it is. It's just trying to keep you safe. It's trying to keep you in old condition and program, but you're at a place now where you can just be like, oh, that's interesting. Moving on. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to phase you the same way. The energies are very conducive to supporting you in fully anchoring in your heart and taking action, and you will see divine compensation roll in small and big ways that will blow your mind as you continue to do that. The ego will try to latch on to any phase of this process, of any phase of the creating process, all of it. And it's just going to be a heightened awareness around that, because you continue to live from your heart and truth, and you continue to take action from there. So truly surrendering the personal will, the one that feels it knows the right answer or knows what steps to take. I think if you're still with me right now, you can probably agree that there's so many, probably like so many ways that you can see that it's makes sense to surrender at this point, because your efforting hasn't been paying off. Your efforting hasn't been materializing. So this is not the season. You're not moving into the season of efforting, trying to figure it out, trying to like, attack this, move into anything. Like, this isn't even about like even trying to manifest. It's just you being you, having fun, living in the divine greatness that you are, embodying the divine essence within you, which naturally moves you to play and have fun and expand and creating. You are a divine creator. More truthful, you are creation itself in human form. Your natural impulse is to create, is to expand. It's just the natural flow of who you truly are. It's not even trying to manifest specific things. It's actually releasing all of the specific things you think you want to manifest, and just coming into alignment with the expansion and the flow that wants to live you, and realizing and recognizing in the moment when there are little stories or narratives or belief systems or patterns that are trying to get you to hook you back into the matrix of fear. It's really simple. Fear-based consciousness is what you are moving out of. Unity consciousness, rooted in the heart and connection with all that is what you are embodying now moving forward. And you will feel the resistance very, very clearly where you are still rooted in fear-based consciousness. That's it. The matrix will try to hook you back into fear-based consciousness. And I use this like these, I speak with my hands, obviously. I feel like it helps me move energy when I'm talking, but um, it feels like that. Like you can get hooked in by the mind or the story, and not just hooked in by mental thoughts, but you can get hooked in by emotions. And so I want to speak to this really quickly. We talk about a lot of this inside Embody the Empress. This is not bypassing your emotions, and it's not suppressing your emotions. It's fully allowing whatever emotions want to come up during this process, but also not allowing them to hook you back into the fear-based consciousness, right? It's like you're able to be aware as you fully allow your humanity to open to whatever you're feeling, right? So any emotion and things like that, but you're not identified with the emotion, and you're not allowing it to hook you back into fear-based dramas, traumas, storylines, narratives that are not serving you. You're really, from a heightened state of awareness, allowing emotions to rise up and be released. So I don't know why I'm going into this session is like all over the place, this transmission, but I feel like this needs to be talked about right now, because there's a misconception around like emotions when it comes to like, I don't know. I guess the conversation I had with Embody the Empress member the other day was that there was hesitancy to really allow the emotions to purge and release, because she didn't want to dwell in them, because she didn't want to manifest something negative. And she was feeling a lot of like, there's a lot of anger and a lot of like sadness and a lot of things rising up. And here's the thing about this: you being able to allow for the duality, allow your humanness, and allow your emotions to come up and actually purge and be released out of your system, because that's all they want to do, is be experienced and released, saves you days, weeks, months, years, decades of having them suppressed, bogged down in your energetic system, and then recreating patterns all over and all over again, like a revolving door, just so they can be experienced and finally honored and released. So I do a whole thing on, there's a whole video on YouTube in the Divine Feminine Collective Message playlist on your anger being sacred. And this is a huge part of the Divine Feminine journey. It's not about suppressing anything. It's allowing things to be released through you as they are coming up, and not suppressing, rejecting life itself, like being present for life and allowing and releasing. This is coming up right now because this is key for unhooking yourself from being hooked back into, like, not allowing yourself to be hooked back into the matrix, right? Because you'll get hooked through mental thoughts and memories, and you'll get hooked through the emotional body, which is very much connected to emotions, right? And so as you get hooked, you want to be able to like allow the emotions to be experienced and released. And this is actually moving you into a much higher frequency than if you were to suppress them and repress them in the name of trying not to manifest negative things. And all that does is keep it trapped in your energetic system and in your chakra system and things like that. It keeps you from being a fully open channel. It keeps you from being able to fully allow the higher frequencies and light codes and activations that you're receiving right now to fully flow through the physical body, because there's denser energies clogging up your channel. Does that make sense? And so we don't spiritual bypass anything, but you're allowing things, but with a heightened state of awareness. You're not buying into the victim story. You're not letting it hook you into the narrative or the blame game or judgment or resentment or any of those things. Those are fear-based consciousness energies. You're just allowing things to surface so you can be free, so you can allow them to be released. And this is going to free you not only physically, energetically within your emotional body, but also allow you to open up to being a divine channel that you are, and allowing the energy to flow more easily through the physical vessel. So I could talk a whole, like many trainings, many transmissions on this, on the whole waking up and the Kundalini rising and what happens through the chakras as you start to purify and purge and open up your heart, and emotions start to come up and bubble up, like you that's part of the heart awakening process for many. And I do talk about this inside Embody the Empress. So if this is interesting to you and this is where you find yourself, where you're you're still moving through some of the mucky stuff, and you're still maybe in the dark night of the soul, or dealing with a lot of these like emotional hooks or mental hooks, but what I'm sharing with you is resonating, then you may want to check that out. Uh, I feel like this is just going to be a year that so many of us also unite in greater sense of community and collaborations. We're getting full body chills right now. A bigger sense of community, even if it's just on a YouTube channel like this, or you find a community that really vibes with you and you get into their community and it's more intimate, or maybe it's out in person or whatnot. Like really connecting through a sense of community, through a sense of shared purpose, through a sense of shared values, through a sense of shared mission is really, really big and moving forward. And there's just going to be so many beautiful shifts. It's like getting front row seats to the best show in town. Like that's where you're at right now. You have front row seats to the best show, the show of a lifetime, I call it, right? Because this is what you signed up for, and you have front row seats to it. And what that means when you're a visionary, when you're a leader, when you're a trailblazer, when you're a way shower, is there's no path, because you are the path. You are the way. There is no path. And this goes much deeper, as there is no path regardless, because you are always the way. And when you are the way, when you are the doorway, when your essence is the doorway and the gateway, there is no path, because you are still yet to be, you are constantly evolving and being created. You are constantly expanding. Like I said, you are the song that is, you are the melody. You are what has yet to be experienced. You are the mystery. And so there is no path. And I know this isn't making any logical sense, because paradoxically, you will get hits and downloads and nuggets and actions to take. So you will be guided. You will be guided, but you're going to be guided to release the need to know and fully trust and surrender in the unknown, so you can play in the magic and the mystery. Like it's like going on vacation, and then like the whole point is to go on the journey, to have the experience, to have the fun, to play, right? Like if you're playing a video game, you don't sit down and play the video game and you want it to be easy. You want to like just get to the very end. You want to win all the levels, your first sitting. That's boring. Like who wants to do that? Like you wouldn't even play that game, right? Like you wouldn't even play that video game, because there's no challenge, there's no obstacles, there's no mystery, there's no magic, there's no fun involved, there's no journey involved. Like this is about, you are the journey. Like you are the journey. Like I don't know if this is resonating with you. Let me know if it is, but you are the way. You are the journey. You are the mystery. If you could sit down and know how everything is supposed to play out in your life, you wouldn't. That would be boring. Like, do you even want to know exactly how everything's going to play out? Exactly when it's going to play out? Exactly how it's going to play out? That there's no expansion in that. There's no fun in that. There's no play in that. That's not why you came. You came here to experience being divinity in human form and playing in the mystery. That's the point. That's the point. You are the way. You are the mystery. You are the magic. You're not supposed to figure it out. You're supposed to be here, present now, knowing who you truly are, and having fun and playing in this process and turning that into gold. Just like my Martha Stewart metaphor, right? Whatever that gold looks like for you, but that is the way. This is the way. You wouldn't want it any other way. You don't want all of it right now. You don't want to know it right now. So feel how freeing that is. It's like, oh, like who wants to know? Like if you could literally snap your fingers right now and be like, you could continue right now where you are right now, like kind of like in between worlds, not knowing, like there's a big mystery, like you feel things are happening, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Like there's lots of things, like there's expansion happening, but it's more like energetic and 5D and quantum, and some of it's coming into your reality and you're not sure what. Like there's all of this stuff happening, right? Like there's all of this, there's like this knowing that goes beyond logic and things like that. And there's this ability to create from a fresh slate, a fresh start, a reset, like right now. That's the other word that was coming through that I didn't touch on yet is reset. Like this is like a divine reset for so many. Like you get to create fresh. It's like a fresh slate, a divine reset where like the old baggage and the old programming, old conditioning is like out, and you're just going to see where it's still like lingering in your field, and it's just going to be like it's old news. It's like if you could choose right now to stay in this mystery and magic, not knowing you're not, with zero certainty of anything, or you could snap your fingers right now and know everything to a T. You can know how everything's going to work out. You know everything about your next relationship. You know when everything's going to happen. You know how everything's going to happen. There's no surprises. There's no magic. There's nothing. There's no surprises. You just know everything to a T, 1000% certain, no guesswork, no nothing. You don't have to rely on instincts or anything or intuition or gut feelings or anything like that. You just, like there's nothing else to do. Like it's all written in stone and you understand it and you see it and you know it. And it's, it's like how your whole life is going to play out right now in every moment for the rest of your years. Which would you choose? Honestly, which would you choose? I know for myself, that doesn't appeal to me. And even though my ego wants to grasp onto understanding certain things or like whatever, like that doesn't appeal to me, like my soul, like my heart. My soul came for an adventure. My soul came to fly, to be free and to experience the unfolding of it all. Ask your, and if that's true for you too, if that's true for you, if that's what you would choose, then you get to revel right now in the mystery and the magic of it all and release any of the pressure of trying to figure it out. Just like, fuck it. You don't have to figure it out. Like that should feel like so freeing, such a relief that you don't have to know. You don't have to figure it out. I'm getting full body chills right now. You just get to be and have fun and be free and begin to trust and know more and more each day that everything is divinely orchestrated and unfolding for you perfectly. Like, how could it not be? Like, there's a reason why you're getting all these synchronicities. It's not an accident. There's a reason why you're still here right now. It's not an accident. Like, none of this is on accident. It's all like, so I could ramble forever, but this is kind of the vibe. This is the energy that I am so excited for 2025 and everything that's going to unfold for all of us that are part of this wave of this collective, this ascension timeline that's moving forward into our truth and our power and our embodied divinity, shining our light and sharing our message and our gift and our magic with the world, and not even knowing what that effing means right now, but knowing that that's the unfolding and that's the juiciness of it, and that's the fun and that's the playfulness of it, and that's the mystery and the magic of it, and not having to be in this like constricted, rigid, compartmentalized way of trying to live our life. Like that's boring, like to me, like that's old, like boring. Like who wants that, right? Like some people are going to be choosing that. That's not your path. If you're here, like you're not choosing that. Like there are people that are meant to stay in the humdrum and stay in a very predictable pattern and plan everything out and jump through the hoops and fit within the boxes and stay very organized and digestible for people in order to project back to them something that feels acceptable so that they don't have to feel rejected and this and that. And it's like Some people are going to stay in that where it's just like one mask is bumping up another mask against another mask. It's like one mask is seeing another mask. Oh, well, you don't like that. Well, I guess I'll play small and I won't say that. So then I can be more acceptable to you. So then you can reflect back to me something that makes me feel better because I don't believe in the truth of who I am yet. And so we're just going to mirror this back to each other over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's some soul's journey right now in this lifetime, right now, until they are graced by God with the urgency within to realize who they truly are. Which, by the way, you didn't even decide this for yourself. You were graced this. You were graced this urge to know who you truly are. And everyone is on their own timeline, and some people are just going to be bumping up against other masks. You're on the timeline where you're taking off the mask completely and you're willing to play right now, here in the now, with who you truly are. And you don't have to compartmentalize yourself or be something that you're not to someone or anyone. Be anything that you're not to anyone. And you're not seeking the external validation. You're not compartmentalizing yourself. You're not jumping through the hoops. You're not fitting into the mold of society the way everybody says it should be. You are carving your own path, your own way, just like the metaphor I shared early on with the reality show I was sharing, the real estate show, if you're still with me. So I hope this is resonating. We're just about at an hour right now. If you're listening to this on the replay or live, I want a code word to drop in the box so I know who is really here for it. Who's really here for it? I'm getting full body chills right now. So I think drop the word creatrix. I know it's a weird word. It's on purpose. Creatrix. Drop the word creatrix if you're still here with me, whether you're live or on the replay, because I want to know who is really here for it. Who's here for 2025 in the way that I just, brought through. It's really fun to be part of a community that's here for it, that can support you through the rising, because we are here to rise collectively. We're not here doing this ourselves. There are millions of starseeds, light workers, and healers around the planet that are here to uplift humanity. You're not in this alone. And yeah, I think that would be fun to just see who's still here and really, really, truly resonating with this. Because if you're still here, truly, truly resonating with this, that I am speaking directly to, source is speaking directly to your soul, directly to your heart. So whatever hit for you, whatever resonated for you, whatever really, struck you on a heart level was meant for you. And you can trust that, but you check in with yourself. If it resonates, it resonates. And it was meant for you today. So I hope this finds you well. And until next time, namaste.